Imagine working nearly 2,000 hours a year, crossing off hundreds of things on your to-do list, and still feeling like you are falling behind every single day.
Yeah, that is such a common feeling.
It really is. It is like holding a bucket full of water. You keep walking forward, but the water is leaking out and you just cannot figure out where the holes are. So, welcome to English Refined. We are so thrilled you are joining us today.
Yes, welcome everyone. We are very glad you are here with us.
This is our space where we practice clear, natural English while exploring ideas that can actually change how we live. And today we are doing a deep dive into time management in real life.
Right, time management. And I know, when most people hear those words, they think of big corporate bosses in expensive suits.
Oh, absolutely. They think it means acting like a perfect robot.
Exactly.
Hmm.
But that is not what we are doing today. Managing your time is simply the secret to living a happier, less stressful daily life.
Yeah, it is about plugging those holes in your bucket, right? So you can actually enjoy the water you have left.
That is a great way to put it. Today, our mission is to explore why our brains are naturally terrible at managing time and, well, exactly how we can fix it.
And we have some amazing sources to guide us. We will look at the biology of our energy, some simple habits to fix our schedules, and real-life examples from famous people.
And practical tips that anyone can use. I mean, even if you are a busy parent with a house full of noisy children.
Right. Our goal today is not to make you feel stressed. We want to give you positive, motivational tools to take back control of your day. So let's unpack the core problem first. Why do we constantly run out of time?
That is the big question, isn't it?
It is. I was looking at the data in our research, and it is fascinating. A typical person works about 240 days a year.
Which is a lot of days.
Yeah, it equals around 1,920 hours of work every year. Almost 2,000 hours.
Huh.
But we still feel time poor. So why is the human brain so bad at estimating time?
Well, it comes down to a very deep psychological habit. Researchers call it the planning fallacy.
The planning fallacy. Okay, what exactly is that?
So, to understand it, we have to know that the human brain is naturally designed to be optimistic.
Oh, right, which is usually a good thing.
Yes, this optimistic bias helped us survive in the past, but it really hurts us when we try to plan our days. The planning fallacy is our tendency to deeply underestimate how long a task will take.
Oh, wow. I fall into this trap all the time. Like last weekend, I decided to clean out my garage.
How did that go?
Not well. I looked at the boxes and thought, this is just moving things onto shelves. It will take 2 hours maximum.
Let me guess. It took much longer.
Yeah. 5 hours later, I was sitting on the dirty floor. I was looking at old photographs. The garbage bag broke, and I hadn't even started organizing the tools. I completely failed to guess the reality.
That is actually the perfect example of the planning fallacy. You fail because your brain only imagined an ideal, perfect scenario.
Right. I just pictured myself moving the boxes.
Exactly. When we plan, our brains focus only on what we call performance time. That is the exact physical action, like just typing words on a keyboard or just lifting a box.
I see. So I ignored everything else.
Yes, you ignored the completion time. Completion time is the harsh reality. It includes the physical action, but also every single interruption.
Oh, like stopping to drink water or finding a photo and looking at it for 20 minutes.
Right. So when we plan, we basically pretend that the real world does not exist.
It reminds me of planning a car trip. You check the map and it says the place is 10 miles away. You think, well, I drive 50 miles per hour, so I will get there in 12 minutes.
But you're assuming you will hit 0 red lights.
Exactly. You assume there's no traffic, no slow trucks, nothing.
And if you plan your trip like that, you will be late and angry every single time. And that is exactly how most people plan their workday.
Wow, that explains so much of my daily stress. So that is our blind optimism. But the research also talks about another trap, a concept called time blindness.
Yes, time blindness is fascinating. It is a neurological issue. Doctors often see it in people with ADHD, but it can affect anyone who struggles with being late.
What does it mean exactly?
It means your brain has trouble feeling time in a neat order. People with time blindness live almost entirely in the present moment. The now is the only thing that feels real.
Which sounds nice for meditation, but terrible for catching an early train.
It is a disaster for scheduling.
Yeah.
The past and the future just do not feel solid to them. One of our sources talked to a very intelligent father who struggled with this.
Oh, yeah, the story about the months.
Right. He was trying to remember a historical event, and he genuinely had to stop and ask, wait, does September come before or after August?
That is such a striking example, and we should point out this has nothing to do with intelligence.
Not at all. He was incredibly smart. It is simply how his brain processes abstract information. To him, hours and months are not a neat line. They're just a blurry cloud.
So how do we fix this? The research mentioned a really simple tool.
Yes, a physical cure. If you struggle with time blindness, you need to stop using digital clocks and start using analog clocks.
Analog clocks, the ones with the physical hands that move in a circle. Why does the shape matter so much?
Well, think about a digital clock on your phone. It just gives you a number, like 10.45.
Right, just abstract number.
Exactly. That number traps your brain in the present moment. But an analog clock turns time into a physical space.
Oh, I see. It is like looking at a sliced pie.
Yes, exactly like a pie. You do not just see the current number, you physically see the slice of the hour disappearing. You see the wedge of time that is left.
That is brilliant. It makes the invisible passage of time highly visible. It is like holding a $10 bill and watching someone slowly rip it in half instead of just reading a number on a bank app.
That is a great comparison. You can actually feel the loss of time.
Okay, so we put an analog clock on the wall. We can see the time passing. But here's the next problem. What happens when you know what time it is, but you just have no energy to work?
Ah, yes. This is where most time management systems fail entirely.
Right, because we just try to drink more coffee or download a new app.
But time management is useless without energy management. Your body is a biological engine. If you have no fuel, the perfect schedule does not matter. The car will not move.
So we have to start with biology. And the research starts with a concept called sleep debt. What is that?
Sleep debt is the total hours of lost sleep you collect over about 2 weeks. Let's say your body naturally needs 8 hours of sleep.
Okay, 8 hours.
But on Monday, you only sleep for 6 hours.
Yeah.
You now have a debt of 2 hours. If you do it again on Tuesday, your debt is 4 hours.
Wow. And I know so many people who do this during the week and then they try to just sleep late on Saturday to fix it. Does that work?
No, sadly, biology does not work that way. You cannot just erase a huge sleep debt in one weekend.
What happens to our brains when we have this debt?
A chemical called adenosine builds up. It creates a heavy fog in your brain. If you carry a sleep debt, true productivity is impossible. Your reaction times slow down. You made bad decisions.
It sounds like trying to run through deep water. So how do we fix our sleep in this modern world?
We have to look at evolutionary biology. For thousands of years, human bodies were programmed by the sun. When the sun went down, it got cold and dark.
Right, no artificial lights back then.
And that cold, dark environment told our brains to release a hormone called melatonin. Melatonin tells your body it is time to sleep.
But today we have heating, so we never get cold, and we have screens everywhere.
Yes, the screens are the biggest problem. Phones and computers emit a special kind of light called blue light.
And how does blue light affect us?
To your brain, blue light looks exactly like a bright, shining sun. So when you stare at your phone in bed at 11:00 p.m., your brain is confused. It thinks it is the middle of the day.
Oh, wow. So I'm literally sending a chemical signal to my brain saying, wake up, the sun is shining.
Precisely. You are fighting millions of years of evolution. To fix it, you need to recreate nature. Keep your bedroom physically cold, and if you must use screens at night, wear glasses that block blue light.
Protect your eyes to protect your sleep. That makes total sense. Now let's talk about our energy during the day. It doesn't just stay flat all day, does it?
No, it moves like an ocean wave. This is called your circadian rhythm. It is your internal biological clock.
And we have to learn how to surf this wave. How does the wave start in the morning?
The first phase is the morning ramp up. You wake up, your body temperature rises, you drink water, and your energy slowly climbs.
Okay, my energy is climbing. Where do I go next?
You go to the morning peak. This is the top of the mountain, usually mid-morning. Your focus is sharpest here. This is the perfect time for hard, complex work.
Like writing a difficult report, but we cannot stay at the peak forever.
Right. After the peak, biology pulls you down into a valley. This is the afternoon dip. It happens around 2:00 p.m. or 3:00 p.m.
Oh, the 2.00 is peeling.
Yes, your body temperature drops, your energy falls, and your body is programmed to rest.
This is a huge revelation for me. I always try to do my hardest thinking at 2.0 p.m. and I just stare at the screen. I thought I was just being lazy.
You are not lazy. You are fighting a biological law. You are trying to climb a mountain when your chemistry is forcing you into a valley.
So what should we do during the afternoon dip?
Match your task to your energy. Do easy passive tasks. Answer simple emails, organize digital files, things that do not require deep focus.
That relieves so much guilt. And does the energy wave go back up later?
It does. You hit the evening peak in the late afternoon. This is a great time for social energy, like team meetings or talking with others.
And finally, the evening wind down to prepare for sleep again.
Exactly. If you respect this biological wave, time management becomes so much easier.
Okay, so we are sleeping well. We are surfing our energy wave. But now we open our computers and the world throws chaos at us. Hundreds of emails, chores, requests. How do we organize all of it?
This is where we need a concrete system. The famous system from our research is called Getting Things Done, or GTD, by David Allen.
And the data says people who use this save up to 40 minutes every single day. That is amazing.
It is huge.
I really want to understand the psychology here. When I make a to-do list, I just write down vague words like taxes or car, and looking at it just makes me panic.
That is incredibly common. It happens because of the Zeigarnik effect. This is a psychological rule that says unfinished tasks stay active in your memory, causing background anxiety.
So my brain is just juggling invisible balls, stressing out because taxes is too vague.
Exactly. Taxes is a project, not an action. The GPD system cures this anxiety using 4 simple steps. Step 1 is capture.
Capture, meaning writing it all down.
Yes. Immediately write down every single idea or task in a notebook or an app.
Yeah.
Empty your brain. Your brain is a terrible place to store lists.
Okay, my brain is empty. I have a messy list. What is step 2?
Step 2 is clarify. You look at every vague item and ask, what is the exact physical next action?
So instead of writing car, what do I write?
You clarify. You write, call the mechanic at 555-1234 to schedule an oil change.
Oh, that feels so much better instantly. The decision is already made. What is step 3?
Organize. Group the actions intelligently. If it has a specific date, put it on your calendar. If not, group it by location or tool, like a list of things to do at the computer or things to buy at the grocery store.
That makes sense. When I'm at the store, I do not need to see my list of phone calls. And the final step.
Reflect and engage. Review your clean list daily, pick the best action, and just engage with a clear mind.
Capture, clarify, organize, reflect, engage. Very logical. But what if my list of clear actions is still massive? What if everything feels like an emergency?
Then you need the Eisenhower matrix.
Yeah.
Named after Dwight D. Eisenhower, the U.S. president. It is a filtering tool.
I love his quote from the research. He said, I have 2 kinds of problems, the urgent and the unimportant. The urgent are not important, and the important are never urgent.
It is a great quote. The matrix forces you to sort your tasks into 4 boxes, or quadrants, using only 2 words, urgent and important.
Let's define those. What is an urgent task?
Urgent means it has an immediate deadline. A kitchen fire, a ringing phone, a crying baby, you must do it right now.
And what makes a task important?
Important tasks help your long-term goals and health, but they rarely have immediate deadlines, like exercising. Nobody yells at you if you skip the gym, but it is important for your future.
So we sort our list. What goes into quadrant 1?
Quadrant 1 is for tasks that are both urgent and important. True crises. A medical emergency or a project due in 1 hour, drop everything and do them.
Okay, what about quadrant 2?
Quadrant 2 is the magic box. Important, but not urgent. Strategic planning, exercising, family time.
And people usually ignore these because they are not urgent.
Right. But highly effective people spend most of their time in quadrant 2. They do important things before they become emergencies.
That is profound. Do the car maintenance now so the car doesn't break down later. What is quadrant 3?
This is the trap. Urgent, but not important. These loudly demand your attention, but they do not help your goals. Usually they are other people's problems.
This is my biggest struggle. A coworker runs up in a panic asking for a favor. It feels urgent to them, so it feels urgent to me.
Yes, we want to be helpful. But you have to ask, is this important to my goals? If you spend all day solving other people's unimportant problems, you will never reach your quadrant 2 goals. The strategy is to delegate or say no politely.
We will talk about saying no in a bit. And finally, quadrant 4.
Not urgent, not important, mindless distractions, scrolling social media for 3 hours.
Just delete those entirely, right?
Exactly. Remove them from your life.
All right. Our tasks are sorted. Now we have to actually plan the work. How do we avoid that blind optimism we talked about earlier?
The best trick is called backward planning. Instead of starting from step 1 and moving forward, you start at the final deadline and plan backward to today.
That sounds strange. Walk me through it. Let's say I am hosting a big dinner party on Saturday.
Start at Saturday night. The guests are eating. What happens right before that? You cook the food. Before that, you prep ingredients. Before that, you buy groceries on Friday. Before that, you write the list on Thursday.
I see. You just keep moving backward. But why does this work better?
Because forward planning is too comfortable. Your brain tells a smooth story and ignores the problems. Backward planning creates mental effort. It forces your brain to wake up and see the real constraints.
Oh, wow. Yeah, if I work backward, I might suddenly realize I cannot buy groceries on Friday because I have a late meeting. It breaks the illusion.
Exactly. You start predicting realistic times.
Brilliant. Okay, we have our realistic plan. Now we sit down to do the work. The research introduced a concept from Cal Newport, deep work versus shallow work.
Yes, these define our modern world. Shallow work is easy, distracting tasks. Answering basic emails, organizing files.
Things you can do while a little distracted.
Right. It feels productive, but it does not create new value. Deep work is the opposite. It is intense, distraction-free concentration on hard tasks.
Like writing computer code or analyzing data.
Exactly. It creates massive value, but it requires huge mental energy, and interruptions make it almost impossible today.
The research had a shocking fact about this. It takes the brain about 23 minutes to fully refocus after just one distraction.
23 minutes. If you stop your deep work to check a text message for 10 seconds, part of your brain is still thinking about that text. It takes 23 minutes to get your deep focus back.
So if you check your phone 3 times an hour, you literally never achieve deep work.
Never. You spend your whole life doing shallow work.
I like to use an analogy here. Shallow work is like splashing in a kiddie pool. It is easy, you can chat with friends, but deep work is like scuba diving at the bottom of the ocean.
That is a perfect image.
If you are scuba diving, someone cannot drag you to the surface every 5 minutes to ask a quick question. You get the bends. You have to stay submerged.
Exactly. You must protect your time under the water. So how do we do that? Cal Newport suggests 4 philosophies.
What is the first one?
The monastic philosophy. Very extreme. You act like a monk, hide away, delete social media, go to a cabin in the woods.
Very peaceful, but impossible for most of us. What is the second?
The bimodal philosophy. Splitting your time. You act like a monk for 4 days, then return to normal office work for 3 days.
Still pretty tough for normal jobs. The third one.
The rhythmic philosophy.
Mm.
This is turning deep work into a strict daily habit. You set a rhythm. For example, every morning from 8:00 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., you lock your door, turn off the internet, and dive deep.
And the research says this is best for beginners, right?
Yes, it removes the stress of deciding when to focus. The rhythm decides for you.
And the final one?
The journalistic philosophy. Like a reporter, you instantly drop into deep work whenever you find a free 20 minutes. But this is very hard and requires years of practice.
So building a daily rhythm is key. But how do we build walls around that time so people don't interrupt? Let's talk about time blocking versus time boxing.
They are very different. Time blocking is just giving a task a space on your calendar. Like, I will work on the presentation from 10 to 12.
Just making an appointment. And time boxing.
Time boxing is setting a strict limit. You put a tight box around it. I only have exactly 45 minutes for this. When the timer rings, I must stop immediately.
That sounds stressful. Why force yourself to stop?
Because of Parkinson's law. It states that work expands to fill the time available.
How does that look in real life?
If you give yourself 4 hours to clean your living room, you will clean slowly, read a magazine, and take 4 hours. But if you say, I only have 20 minutes before guests arrive, what happens?
I move incredibly fast. The room is clean in 20 minutes.
Exactly. Time boxing creates artificial urgency. A famous way to do this is the Pomodoro technique.
Right, named after the little tomato kitchen timer.
Yes. You pick a task, set a timer for 25 minutes, and work with total focus. No phones. When it rings, you take a strict 5-minute break, then start again.
It trains the brain in short bursts. Now, our research had some amazing real-life examples from famous people. First, the author Mark Twain. He said to eat the frog.
Yes. Eat the frog means doing your ugliest, hardest task first thing in the morning. Do not let it sit on your desk and give you anxiety all day. Attack it immediately.
And then the rest of the day feels easy. Next, an entrepreneur named Marcus Lemonis. He has a physical trick.
He uses a knockout list. He writes his top 5 tasks on a note card. When he finishes one, he folds the card into a paper airplane and physically throws it across the room.
Wait, really? A paper airplane?
Yes, because our brains crave physical completion. Checking a box on a screen is boring. Throwing an airplane is fun and gives a huge rush of dopamine, which motivates you for the next task.
That is so fun. Next is interrupt coalescing, borrowing from computer science.
Yes. Computers group all tiny background notifications together and process them in one big batch so they don't lose efficiency. We should do the same.
So do not reply to every small email instantly.
Right. Tell your team you only check messages at 11:00 a.m. and 4:00 p.m. Batch the chaos together to protect your deep work.
Super smart. What about former President Barack Obama? How did he save time?
He fought something called decision fatigue. Every tiny choice you make, like what to wear, uses up your brain's battery. If you make too many small choices in the morning, your battery is dead by the afternoon.
Do you make bad choices later on?
Exactly. To fix this, Obama wore the exact same style of gray or blue suit every single day. He completely removed the choice. He saved his mental energy for running the country.
We can all do that. Eat the same breakfast to save brain power. And our last famous example is Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs showed the power of saying no. In 1997, Apple was failing. They had 300 different products, total chaos.
So he cut the products down to just 10, right?
Yes, he said no to hundreds of teams. He taught that innovation is not saying yes to one great idea, it is saying no to 1,000 other things so you can focus.
It perfectly matches the Eisenhower matrix. Say no to the unimportant thing.
It is the ultimate boundary.
These strategies are amazing. But we need to pause here and look at reality. It is easy to be organized in a quiet office. But what happens when you go home to a busy family, messy kids, and endless chores?
This is a huge shift. And our sources dig deep into the chaos of everyday life.
Right. You cannot tell a crying 2-year-old, "Excuse me, I'm in a 25-minute Pomodoro box. Please stop crying."
No, definitely not. And this is why normal time advice fails parents. Parents carry a massive emotional load. They feel they're failing at work and at home, which creates huge parental guilt.
And how does guilt ruin time management?
It makes parents overcompensate. They come home exhausted and try to be superheroes. They try to cook a perfect dinner, clean the whole house, and read 15 books to their kids.
And then they have zero free time for themselves. They just burn out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So parents need different strategies. The first is childcare as an anchor.
What does that mean?
An anchor is a fixed block of time. Treat school or daycare hours as a strict boundary. You build your work entirely around those hours so work does not drift into your evening.
It forces efficiency. The next strategy is night before prep.
This helps with morning decision fatigue. Children are chaotic in the mornings. So make all decisions the night before, lay out clothes, pack school bags, make lunches while the house is quiet.
So you just wake up and execute the plan. The Obama suit trick for parents.
Yes. Next is meal batching and delegation. Do not invent a new dinner every night. Cook a massive batch of basic ingredients on Sunday, like chicken and vegetables, and mix them during the week.
And delegation.
You are not a superhero.
Yeah.
Everyone in the family needs a chore. Even a 3-year-old can put toys in a box. Share the load.
Okay, the bags are packed, meals are batched, chores are delegated. We finally have time for the kids. The research talks about micro-scheduling, the special 15.
Yes. Parents feel guilty because they cannot play with their kids for 3 hours a day. But quality beats quantity. The special 15 is scheduling just 15 to 30 minutes of completely undivided attention daily.
No phones, no TV.
Exactly. Pure presence.
But wait, doesn't scheduling playtime feel robotic?
A lot of people think that, but actually structure creates true freedom. Think about it. If you have no structure, you try to play, but your brain is stressing about dirty dishes or work emails. You are distracted. But if the chores are delegated and meals are planned, your mind is quiet. When that 15 minutes arrives, you are completely free of stress and guilt. The structure built a safe room for joy.
That is beautiful. We manage the boring chaos so we can enjoy the peace. Well, we have covered so much today. The planning fallacy, analog clocks, sleep debt, energy waves, GTD, the Eisenhower matrix.
Deep work, paper airplanes, and systems for busy parents.
You have a whole toolkit now.
Well,
But the research has one final habit we usually forget. We must celebrate our achievements.
Yes. When you finish a hard project or survive a chaotic week, you must pause. Drink a quiet coffee. Give yourself a psychological reward. It refuels your motivation.
Do not just rush to the next task. You earned a pause. Now, to wrap up, I want to leave you with a provocative thought.
What is that?
We spend all this time trying to fit more tasks into a day. But what if the true goal of time management is giving yourself permission to do fewer things?
Oh, wow.
Doing fewer things, but doing them with total joy and absolute presence.
That is the perfect summary. Saying no to the noise so you are awake for what matters.
Exactly. And remember, time management is a practice. You are not a robot. Some days your bucket will leak, and that is okay.
Be kind to yourself. Try just one small habit today. Maybe wear blue light glasses or throw a paper airplane.
I am definitely throwing a paper airplane today. Thank you so much for learning with us on English Refined. We hope these tools help you find peace.
Thank you for joining the conversation. Respect your biology and protect your focus.
Yes, plug the holes in your bucket and give your time to the people who truly deserve it. Have a wonderful, focused day. Until next time.